talk about what I got. I just said I needed a 74 to pass. Guess what I got? I got a... Hi, my name is Princess and you're watching Divine Duo. Okay guys, so today I have a very good video for you guys. And on this channel, you guys know we talk about hair and we talk about, nursing and we talk about lifestyle, but today is going to be a nursing video. As you guys may know from the past videos, I just finished nursing school. So yeah, if you guys want to know how I passed that ATI exit exam, just stay tuned, because not only do I have tips and tricks for you guys, I'm going to let you guys know how it was and what grade I got. Guys, just a quick little heads up, if you guys do see me looking down, I have some notes for you guys. So I may be looking down once or twice. I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but just letting you guys know. So as mentioned before, I did do a vlog on my finals week in nursing school. If you guys haven't seen that, you may want to see that, because it's going to bring some clarity to how it was studying in general and how stressful it was for me. So if you guys haven't seen that video yet, I suggest that you go ahead and go click on that video first. I'll probably put it in the card up there. I also have other videos of, little videos about my whole journey while I was in nursing school. And I feel like it would be helpful to go ahead and just watch those videos just to see where I came from. Like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I'm even here right now. Like, it's a real big blessing. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this ATI. First things first, the ATI exam is very challenging. It is indeed challenging. I feel like, from what I've heard, it's more challenging than the NCLEX is, which I don't really knock, because I feel like if you just struggle to take the ATI and you pass it, you kind of know that you're going to pass the NCLEX. And also at the end of you taking your ATI exam, they're going to tell you what percentage you have of passing the NCLEX exam. My percentage was 96. I have a 96% chance of passing the NCLEX. So that was very heartwarming to hear, and it was very, it was just very reassuring that I'm on the right track and that I'm doing a great job. So yeah, this exam was very challenging. I'm not going to come on here and make it seem like it was easy to anybody, because I feel like when you go into something knowing how challenging it's going to be, or even putting more of a challenging demeanor on it, you're going to, you know how they say shoot for the stars and land somewhere in the clouds, something like that. You're going to end up, passing just by how much, how serious you took something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not gonna come on here and make it seem like it was an easy exam. It was not. And on top of that, so we had a 180 question exam. 30 of them were pilot. And don't get me started, because I was very upset about that. We already got to sit there for that long, and now 30 of them is not even gonna get counted. So 150 was counted for, and the other 30 we were just test dummies at that point. And that's why ATI honestly has so many questions, but whatever. So yeah, so that was a 3-hour test. And our school required a 74% to pass. I know some schools allow a 69%. I think it is up to the schools whether or not they want to, have you pass with whatever grade that, they set for you. But our school, I guess because, they're very competitive and stuff, it was a 74. And I know that sounds like nothing, but that was the hardest 74 I ever had to get, because like I said, ATI is no joke, and it's very hard. That test is very hard. So let's talk about what I got. I just said I needed a 74 to pass. Guess what I got? I got a 75.3. If that ain't God, I don't know who God is, because I was supposed to be a nurse. I'm supposed to be a nurse. I'm meant to be a nurse. And there's no way that on my first try, I end up getting a 75. When I tell you I cried, look back at it. I don't even know if I vlogged that part of it. I don't think I did, but I called Precious right after, and I was just like, Precious, I started crying. She thought that I failed. And I'm just like, I passed. I told her I got a 75, and I'm just crying, because it's I could have got 3 more wrong, and that would have been it. And mind you, I've been passing this whole this whole program with 90s, like with flying colors. Like, so I'm telling you right now, ATI is no joke. And then on the bottom it said 96% chance of passing NCLEX. I said, what? Like, does that even make sense? How I get a 75 and I have a 96% chance of passing? That's the weird part. But their algorithm or whatever they got going on is just a bit different. But I don't ask no questions, I passed, you know. So yes, I was very grateful for that. Now let me just let you guys know what I did. So, okay. So like I told you guys, we had 180 questions, meaning that I had to get used to sitting down for 3 hours straight, because that's what it was. And we only got a 5-minute break, and we could use that at our own discretion. So, I decided that I was gonna wake up in the morning. I was going to practice 100 questions in one sitting every morning, and that was for like about, I want to say, a week and a half or two, because I had other things to study for. Like I said, it was my finals week, so it wasn't like, you know, they set aside another week for us to get this done. No, it was our finals week, and we just had other things to carry, and it was just it wasn't an ideal situation, but I was gonna make it happen, and I did. So yeah, I would wake up every morning and I would do 100 questions. Whatever I would get wrong, I would look at the rationale and I would literally handwrite it. I don't know about you guys, but handwriting goes a long way for me. I would handwrite it out, and I would have like a nice cheat sheet, you know, and I would obviously look at the percentage on ATI. If your school, you know, puts it in your tuition, you're gonna have ATI, and you're gonna have a boatload of questions that you can, like, you know, make your own exams to. And we had that. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the test, they would allow you to look at the questions that you got wrong. They would give you the rationale, and they will also compartmentalize them, I guess, or like split them into categories. If whether it was maternity, whether it was peds, whether it was med surge, nutrition, they would split up in that way. And whatever one that, you know, I obviously needed the most work on, which was maternity, I would always go back and, you know, put more effort into that whenever I study. Another thing about, like, when I started studying for ATI, I don't feel like this was the time to try to study things in a portion. Like, oh, let me go back to my med surge notes and go look at that, or let me go back to my peds notes and go look at that. That wasn't the time for that, in my opinion. In my opinion, it was time to just do questions. Do questions. Questions after questions after questions. You sitting down and knowing how to stay focused for that long is another part in practicing for ATI. So yes, I would do 100 questions in the morning, and then at night before I go to sleep, I would do 50. And I probably could have done more, but like I said, we had other things to focus on. It wasn't like, you know, undivided attention to just ATI. We had other things to focus on. So that was my main study tactic, or what I did. Now I just want to give you guys 2 more tips before I let y'all go. So my first tip would be to know what kind of question is given to you. ATI is very repetitive with the way they ask questions. It may not be the same exact question over and over again, but those questions that are in practice, that are your practice questions, they're going to be worded the same way. So if you understand how to read it, how to comprehend, and how to answer the question, then, you know, you're gonna go a long way. By answer the question and comprehend the question, I mean that you want to know what they're asking you. And if you know how ATI go, you're going to just be like, I know what kind of questions this is, you know? So you're going to already know what kind of answers they're going to give you, so that it will be easier for you to answer the questions, because at the same time, you're also being timed. Like I said, it's 3 hours for 180. Whatever question you end on, that's what you end on. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself a certain amount of time for each question. You don't want to overdo it. So what helps is when you read the question, you read it again, and you know what kind of question they're asking you. Now, if it's a priority question, if it says priority in the question itself, you know that you're going to be dealing with something like ABC, you know, because you already know airway, breathing, circulation. Airway takes priority over breathing, takes priority over circulation. So if it says priority in the question, which of the 3 or which of the 4 are the nurse's priority, you know you're going to choose airway or anything that has to do with something of the sort. So yeah, another question that they're going to ask is, what do you do next, or what should the nurse do next? That is a key note to know that you most likely gonna assess. Okay, so like if they ask you, if they say like the nurse walks in and the alarm, the chest tube alarm is going off, what does the nurse do next? You want to assess, make sure, see why it's going off, you know what I mean? Or not chest tube alarm, like, you know, the anything that has to do with alarms. You want to know that what you're going to do next, you're going to assess, because sometimes it could just be like, you know, malfunction, or you might not need to do too much to fix the situation. So yeah, if they say priority, ABC. If they say next, it's usually assess. Now, if the question already implies that the nurse has assessed, know what assess means, you're most likely going to intervene next. So yeah, knowing that ATI, you know, those are kind of repetitive things, really came a long way. So my next tip would just be to know when to call the doctor, because there's a lot of questions that have an answer option that says call the doctor, and it may or may not be the answer. You need to read the question over and over again, because those are the ones that I feel like people tend to get wrong a lot. People, meaning myself. So one thing to know whether or not you need to call the doctor is, if you call the doctor, will you be able to answer their questions? Meaning, if they say something, if you go into the room and the patient says that they're in pain, they say, what should you do next? If it says call the doctor, do you know the pain level? You know the doctor's gonna ask you the pain level, right? So, come on. So you just wanna think about what the doctor's gonna ask you if you do end up calling them. And if you feel like there's something that you could do first, you go right on ahead and assess. So yeah, that just leads into, like, you know, the fact that you may be able to intervene before you call the doctor. And if that's the case, you need to do that. So yes, that's all the tips that I have for you guys today. I had those 2 little tips, and I also told you guys how I practice for ATI. Guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to join the PMP party, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.